Hello everyone. We're going to work our way through the exam here. We're going to do the corrections, and I'm going to walk my way through them to help you. First thing to note, remember I told you there are some typos on this. The first typo we need to fix is in the midpoint formula. I did not count anyone incorrect on this, but remember that in both cases it is x1 plus 1. Here, let me redo that. And x and y1 plus y2. It is plus, not minus. Yes, I did that wrong on the exam, but like I said, I did not count you all incorrect on that. Also, this is not supposed to be a 1. It's supposed to be Q 3, 4. Now that typo I did write on the board. All right. So, just so we're clear, there were a few typos. I didn't count you wrong on those, so don't worry about it. All right. For number 1, it asks, what's the length of line segment QS? Well, QS is the length of the entire line, and my measurements that I gave you was from QR, it's 19, from R to S is 32, so QS has to be the sum of QR plus RS. So, QR plus RS, which the measurements are 19 plus 32, which equals 51. Now on B, for B, it's the length of QS, but I didn't give you QS as the whole thing. I gave you QS as just a piece of it. I gave you QR is the whole line segment, and I gave you that measurement, and that's the 63. I gave you from SR, from S to R, and that's 45. So the measurement of QS should be QR minus SR, which is 63 minus 45, which equals 18. So that's how you solve 1A and B. Oh, wait, let me not go too far here. Find the midpoint for the line segment with endpoints A and B and show all work was what I asked for number 2. So for number 2, let's go ahead and copy down our formula. We have x to the little m equals x to the 1 plus x to the 2 over 2. We also have y, wow, that's an ugly y. Let me try that again. Y to the m equals y1 plus y2 over 2. Now scroll down a little bit, give me some room. Now in this one, I didn't ask you to tell me what an endpoint was. I wanted to know what's the midpoint. So everything is very straightforward with this one. We have a negative 2. That's our x1. A 1 is our x2, and it's divided by 2. Well, negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1 over 2. So just negative 1 over 2. That's our answer. For the y's, our y1 is 4. Our y2 is 3, and it's over 2. Well, 4 plus 3 is 7, so it's 7 over 2. So what I was looking for was I just wanted the negative 1/2, comma, 7/2. And that's really all there is to it. Now, for number 3, we're dealing with a distance formula. Let's write down the distance formula. D equals x1, well, we can make it x1 or x2. I'm going to leave it x1 like I wrote it up there, minus x2. Remember, it really doesn't matter which point you put first, as long as you put the same point first on both x and y. Oops, sorry. What's important is whatever point you start with for the x, you have to start with the y of that same point. So we get our, we're going to use negative 3, and we have to use 6 minus 6 squared. And since we use a negative 3, we have to use the 4 for our y first, minus 1 squared. Remember, this is all still over the, still under the radical. Negative 3 minus 6. That's the same thing as negative 3 plus negative 6, which is a negative 9, still in parentheses, squared, plus 4 minus 1 is 3 squared, still under the radical. Now, negative 9, remember that if you have a negative number and you raise it to an even exponent, it's always a positive answer, because negative times a negative is always positive. Well, in this case, we have a negative 9 times a negative 9. That makes it a positive answer, and 9 times 9 is 81, so we have 81. Equally, the 3 squared is 3 times 3, that's 9, still under the radical, which gives us an answer of square root of 90. And I think the approximate answer, I have to look it up because I can't do approximate answers in my head. I don't know too many people who can. Is 9.487, because remember I asked for to the thousandths position. All right. Now, let's go down to the bottom of the page here, and we need to look at the number 4. And we're going to look at these, and it asks, decide if each of the following statements are true or false, and we have to use this diagram. So, points A, R, and B are collinear. Well, there's point A, there's point R, and there's point B. They're definitely not on the same line, and collinear means they have to be on the same line, so this has to be false. The next one, B, is BW and AT are lines. Well, from B to W, that's 2 points on a line, so that counts as a line. Okay. Then we go from our A to T. Well, they're 2 points on a line, so that's a line. So yes, that's true. Remember that the dotted line means that it's passing along plane D and going through plane E and out through, still staying on plane D. Now number 4C, gives us BR and RT are opposite rays. BR and RT. That means there would have to be a ray going that way and a ray going this way for RT. Those are not on the same line. They're not going in opposite directions, so that has to be false. Now for 4D, plane D could also be named plane ART. Now this is a bit of a tricky one. I gave a lot of credit to people. I went back and changed some of the grades because I realized there was a mistake here. You cannot name plane ART because A, R, and T are on the same line. They are collinear. So this one is actually false. So for those of you who marked it false, you actually got a point back after I looked at it and realized what I had done there. All right. I'm going to stop this one, and we're going to start over with another video on page 2 in just a few moments. So go to the next video.